That's a clip from the Rachael Ray show. Come on, the Daytime Emmy Award-winning show.
Yes.
Best-selling author. Amazing mogul. Wonderful personality.
Who is this person you're talking about?
Incredible chef. Got an awesome husband.
Yeah, and my husband sends his love.
Tell John I said what up.
He had to take the doggy to the doctor today. She's the only one that's more important than us. But he did. He sent his love. He was real jealous.
He took the dog. He took the dog to the doctor.
Yeah, the doggy. Izzy's 15, you know. So the doctor. She's getting physical therapy, and she sees a doctor quite often. But at 112, who wouldn't? You know what I mean?
That's 7 times 15. Is okay.
And the first year's 14.
In the first year is 14. Rachael Ray is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Yes!
We're celebrating the season 14 of the Rachael Ray show. Did you, when this started, a lot of times you work in TV, you figure, okay, that's a new show we're starting. I'll probably give, if I'm lucky, 3 seasons.
Yeah, there's so many people that are lucky to get 2.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it that way. I never have looked at my life like that. I didn't start out to want to be in TV. I just wanted to be in food. And, I've been at Food Network for 20 years now, and we're still making 30-minute meals. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just look at every day. And my mom taught me as a child, since before I had working papers, that work is not a right, it is a privilege. So whether you are washing dishes or going to the fun job that I have now, you have to be grateful for it. And you should get out of bed and go do your best that day. And then good things will come, or at least opportunity will come in some form. So that's the way I approach my life. It's not going to be up to me when we come or go with one TV show or another. That's up to the audience. It is up to me how I conduct myself when I go to work.
When you go to work, Rachael Ray. I don't know how much she's worth. I don't even,
Me either.
You don't really, though.
No, the first time I bought groceries with one of those swipe cards, I was trembling because I didn't know if I had, and I was envisioning that moment of having to choose between the chicken and the toilet paper. I didn't know if I had enough in the bank to cover the bill. And I was so scared to swipe it. So since I know that I've got enough money in the bank to buy toilet paper and chicken, I don't care. Other people babysit that. I've never worked for money in that way.
Okay.
And we've given away, just for animal rescue, $36 million, and for our human initiatives, probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 million. I've given away more money than I ever thought I would earn in 10 lifetimes.
Wow.
So I don't give a flip how much is in my own bank account.
Wow, damn, I wish I could live that life shit.
Right.
I know that I'm good with very little, so why do I care? I own my house. I got some place to die.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Why
but hold on. But why? But how did you learn how to manage that money? Like, what steps did you do?
I pay bankers and people that are smarter than me when it comes to that. I'm good at managing other people's business, like other people's money. I was great at. I was a food buyer for years. I'm great at running other people's cash. I'm terrible at running mine. I would give away my last nickel and run out of gas and have to walk the way home. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not responsible enough to manage my money.
I remember watching Oprah, and she said, make sure you never give up the power of attorney. It should always be your name on the check. You don't concern yourself with that at all?
Oh, I sign.
Okay.
I sign big. I sign the big stuff. And I'm happy to. I just don't. I don't manage the day-to-day of that. And I don't know what my personal worth is. I really don't.
Rachael Ray, shit. Mike Muse, you know how much you're worth? Heather, we were talking about the event you do at South by Southwest.
I'm so excited. It's like my Christmas coming up.
Yes.
But third week in March is huge for me.
It's huge, right? We don't know who's going to be that. It's always that big headliner. I was there last year. I had to almost miss my flight just to come.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It's extremely fun. But
are you going to come this year?
I can't make it this year because it's Persian New Year and it's something I'm doing with family. But what I'm most impressed by is not just your cooking and these excellent books you write and your transparency on your platform, but so all of these things are by like the way you branded your name. When I go to your events, there's lines a mile long.
The line at South by Southwest, our event is called Feedback. I thought that was a clever name.
Okay, yeah.
My husband is a musician. He plays in a rock band called The Cringe. He also happens to be an entertainment lawyer, so that saved me a bunch of nickels over the years.
Okay, good.
But we both love music, and that's what we do for fun is we check out different bands, and we love every type of music. So we wanted to do something that would bring together my love of food and our love of music. And 13 years ago, we started this little thing that's now enormous. We run the big show at Stubbs all day long, and the line is literally more than a mile long.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings stand on line from like 1:32 a.m. until the doors open at our event.
Oh, no.
And it's free. We don't overcrowd. We give you cocktails. I write all the food. There's always a vegan or vegetarian, meat lovers. I write different menus every year. We take it very seriously, and we do not allow overcrowding.
This is true.
Clean restrooms, the whole thing. But what's cool about it is we are the first group of people that put up an alt stage at Stubbs. So they fill up about 3,000 people in what looks like a giant football field.
Uh-huh.
And the main stage is here. And now there's a stage down here, too, that they've turned into a permanent structure. So while you're watching this act, that act is setting.
Yeah.
And it's a constant flow. All you have to do is turn around.
Yeah.
And
everybody
it's
has a
really
great
cool.
seat. Like, no matter where you are in that venue.
You can see,
Yeah.
exactly. So you never miss a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do smaller acts. Actually, Green Day played on the inside. It's by choice of artists, but
Wow.
we have a third stage that runs inside, too, simultaneously all day long.
Wow.
They played as Foxborough Hot Tubs a few years back. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Rachael Ray is here, man. I love your energy this morning, too.
So, Citizens of Sway in the Morning, Rachel invited us last year
Yeah.
when you came by the show. So, me and my husband came to your event, and your people were absolutely phenomenal. I'm
Isn't
gonna say
it
that
fun?
because listen, the line was around the corner. Somebody saw me. They brought me up to the front. I was like, oh, I feel special. So he came in. They was like, Rachel was just on the show. He said, I know. So I come in, and I had a gift for you, a cutting board that I ended up giving to a young lady that works with your staff. But we didn't have a chance because we had to catch the flight as well to stay to see the show. But I was amazed at all of the people, to your point, that wait and stand there and support what you're doing. Like, this line was wrapped up.
And they're so respectful,
Yes.
and they're polite to one another because
Yes.
there's a trust there. People come every year,
Mm-hmm.
and they take turns because they'll only let in
A certain amount,
Right, a certain
right.
amount. They'll go to see the acts they want, and then they leave and let other people get a chance.
Okay.
Now, Sway knows my secret. I
Mm-hmm.
can't announce, but I'm
Yeah.
going to make sure you get the list so you can announce it. for
Okay,
me.
cool.
Okay.
But wait till you see what's going on this
It's
year.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something. You will never guess it.
Okay.
Woo! It's going to be a
will-
good year.
You will guess up until that moment and will not guess it. That's all I'm going to leave you with. But
That's
when
amazing.
you figure out, when you find out what it is, you're going to go, oh!
Gotta go to Texas.
Let's get it. It's gonna be
Everybody was
great.
nice, though.
That's going to be
The
great.
whole lineup. I finished the lineup last night. I do curate the entire lineup, all of the stages. We do all extra events too. So we have a big brunch this year, and we have the 3 stages that we run at Stubbs. And I just finished the lineup last night. It is
Sweet.
You curate the whole thing.
absolutely every single band. I sit down and we listen. I sit with my husband and my friend Charlie Dugello, who's been working with me on this since day one, and we listen to every single act together, and we go back and forth on 1 or 2, but we usually all say, oh yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a very international year. I will say that too. We have acts from literally all over the globe, and it's the first time I've done that. Like
Okay.
booked people that are
that's
from
good.
See,
literally
but
other countries.
But you see how she's expanding the brand to concert promoter now?
Yeah. Well, I don't
Rachel,
suck at it.
come
I'm
on,
pretty
man.
good
You're
at
pretty
it.
damn good. Take that act on the road.
I make a good show, and
Yes.
we always have something for literally everyone.
Everybody.
That's
Yeah.
very true. Every year, every type of music is represented.
No, it was
and
good.
up and comers and unknowns and back in the day, and then an epic closer every year.
Every single year. You're so happy about your life.
This one's big.
Makes me feel good. TG.
I love it. Rachel, thank you for always bringing in all of this like beautiful sunshine when you walk into the studio.
I get so happy coming here. This is a great way to start the day.
Come on, let's get it. Let's get it together.
For the most mutual feelings. Okay. I'm going to go back into your pockets just a little bit when you were speaking about the money that you give away.
Yeah.
And thank you for being so generous in that way. When you mentioned for animal rights, you said 36 million?
36 million and counting, our Nutrish brand.
Yeah.
Several years ago, people were accidentally, literally, killing their own pets and, furry family members because we do not regulate imported dog and cat food. So there was an epidemic where people just were buying what they thought was decent quality food and poisoning animals. So I started making animal food to human standards for me. I eat all of the kibble, cat food, no joke. And I've done it on TV shows just to get people to understand the quality of it.
You're eating kibble and bits?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. For me, it needs salt, but it's delicious. You can read it like a menu. And I've eaten our cat food, the whole thing. Again, it needs salt, but that was to show people the quality and how much I trust the process that we use to make all of our foods. And we do every diet for every age and every choice that caregivers of animals need to deal with present day. Because just like human kids, so many animals have allergies and different issues, right?
Right.
But the purpose of that was to drive money to, just like we do for children. Since day one selling product, I've given a percentage of everything that we sell to feed American children that were going hungry and to have a scholarship program. Right. So we use that as the model. We just sell a whole lot more pet food than we do pots and pans and stuff. That's what generates all that money.
Right, because a lot of people be wondering sometimes, especially with like vegans, they'll be like, why do people care more about animals than they do about humans?
No, I would give equal amounts if I made equal amounts from the products. But I don't. You make more money with dog and cat food, you know what I mean?
Makes
because
sense.
of the amount of it that we sell in the country, what the market's worth. Plus, in pots and pans and housewares, you make a very tiny margin because I want to sell at the fairest price possible for furniture, pots, pans. I want to sell at as low as we can go so more people can afford it. And the margins are much different on animal food. You know what I mean? You're buying carrots and peas, and chicken and grain versus items that are more expensive. So the margins are just very different. But I'm very proud that we also always have the ability with our foundation to give away $1 million for water relief every time that there is a national disaster. Yesterday, I gave away $20,000 scholarship to a little girl who's going back to school who had multiple strokes. Wow. We have an ability at a moment's notice for people and for animals.
Amen.
Yeah.
Rachael Ray, the Rachael Ray Show. You hear that science behind the business right there? She started giving up a little bit of game right there. You saw that? See, that's what I was trying to get out of you. Mike Hughes.
Thank you, Rachel.
What's up, Rachel? We talked in the hallway a little bit earlier. But speaking of your events, I had a chance to go to your beer and burger bash for the Food and Wine Festival.
I'm doing that again next week.
Yeah. It was
Next
like
Friday.
Yeah, it was like my favorite event. I ate way too many burgers. But I'm someone who can't cook, and I don't cook. And I was talking to you about that in the hallway. But your show and your recipes, it makes it so easy for someone like myself to want to try your recipes. What kind of gives you that knack to be able to reach out to someone like me who is intimidated by the kitchen but feels that I can do your type of cooking?
There are brands that are aspirational. You're looking at the best of the best. And like a little kid looking in a window at a beautiful pastry or something, right? And maybe you can achieve that one day and maybe you can't. The cornerstone of my thinking and my brand and what I try and present to people is that you can see yourself doing or touching anything in print or that I'm involved with on a television show. I don't want you to be psyched about me at the end of the day. I want you to have a more adventurous life and feel that you can accomplish anything that we're sharing with you. To that end, for the magazine, I now write 3-minute meals and pictures. I draw. The last page of the magazine is now my artwork. I do food and doodles, to make people laugh and feel like they can get a little more adventurous and that they can do it. I write 30-minute meals. I write everything for the show. I write all that stuff because I want people to have more fun and not save their life for weekends or when they reach a certain money level or when they're retired or their vacation. You should enjoy some part of your day every day. Mm-hmm. And whether that's talking to a stranger, making a new friend, turning left instead of right on your way home from work, or making something different for dinner, that's what gives life its quality to me. So that's what I try and help people envision, is just having a little more fun every day.
I got an idea. And I think this is going to be brilliant. I'm just building off your word, fun. That last thing she said was fun. Yeah. Heather B has an awesome IG page, Instagram page, where she does recipes of her own. She does drink mixes as well.
My husband is a fabulous mixologist. Right. I have to get him to tune into this.
Okay, so check it out. I know you have Matthew Hussey on there talking about dating apps and all of this different stuff. You know, dating advice. Matthew, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, Rev Run and, you know,
Justine.
You know. You got to look at her page. I feel like Heather B would be a perfect guest on your show. Oh, my God.
Isn't it amazing that we happen to have Tommy Crudup, our booker, sitting in the corner?
Tommy.
You ain't getting out of the room.
Oh, Tommy. You take Mike, hold him down. He knows we live on air. He'll say what's necessary because we're live on air.
I'll get his number for Heather B.
No, awesome. No, I think it'll be great.
Me too.
Of course. Oh, we love day drinking at my show. We love day drinking.
Okay, and she got a nice crab. She would what would you say?
Look, the card just came out.
We got the card.
Yeah.
Card on the table.
Okay, my work here is done.
We got the card.
Card on the table.
I'm coming to see y'all one day this year,
Heather
Rachel.
B is going to be on the Rachael Ray show. I'm
That's
coming.
That's a big day.
I'm carrying her pots. You have a book, Rachael Ray 50, Memories and Meals from a Sweet and Savory Life, 125 recipes, 25 essays. Can I read from it?
I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, well, barely.
Are you choosing to?
Yeah, why not? My husband, John, turned 50 in 2017, a year before I did, and what a party we had. More than 200 people at a club in Manhattan. He loved it. I got to say, I hated it. It overwhelmed me. I felt crowd drunk and claustrophobic, and I didn't get to spend quality time with any of our closest friends, but it did get me thinking about my 50 years on this planet and about what I learned from them. For me, aging has never been a big emotional thing. I guess that's because I always gravitated towards people who were older than me. What have you learned? What?
You know, take your work very seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. There are many things in life that will bring you to your knees. So when you can, if you have a choice to laugh or cry, choose to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, laugh at yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself and get filled with anger and hate. There's plenty of real pain in life. Don't go looking for it. Work harder than the next person and don't complain about it. Play hard. If you work hard, you should play hard. And never say never. I don't think that there's a season or a year that you should stop wanting to try something new, you know? Tony Bennett made his first bust of his best friend, Harry Belafonte, when he was 90 years old. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, that's, I think, why I like and appreciate hanging out with people that are a little older than me, because I see what they're doing and it drives me. It's like, oh, don't, you know. Or people that have been through a lot that are younger than me, that have gotten over a terrible illness, my friends that have suffered horrible cancers and things that are decades younger than me. I look to both ends of the spectrum, really, so that I feel present and grateful of where I'm at. And I decided to celebrate my birthday in a very personal way. And Tommy was actually one of the inspirations. My friend sitting in the corner, he said, why don't you write something about your 50 years? This, to me, is a party. It's a book about being grateful, how I got here, things that are funny, and hopefully that will bring me closer to our viewers and our readers. And for people who don't know me at all, to, you know, have a chance to share a real example of the American dream, a waitress from upstate New York who has a pretty cool life, you know? Yeah. I'm real proud of it. I was very scared to write this. It's my 26th book, but it's the only book where I've written basically a memoir and talked about myself, and I'm not that person. I feel very self-conscious. I hate being on red carpets. I hate like serious interview kind of thing. I love chatting, obviously, but so it was weird to sit down and write like that. But I'm proud I did it, and I think there's a lot in there that is very funny and relatable. I started to write some chapters about like the I Hate Rachael Ray site that lasted for years and all the controversial things people have said about me over the years. And I said, I don't want to put anything negative in here because the whole project is about being grateful. Yes. So I took that stuff out. But everything else, I have to say, the editors left in. Like, I'm real proud they didn't butcher it too much,
Yeah, you get real. You one of the interesting things you put in there is, in this business, people tend to age themselves down.
Yeah.
They'll say they were younger than they typically are because of the nature of this business. You aged yourself up growing up.
I always did. I truly did. Because I saw my friends flipping out when they would turn 30 especially, and then 40 like it was a disease or something. So I just always cheated up a year so that by the time I really was that old, I wouldn't care. Do you know what I mean?
That's good.
Because I would have been used to it already, you know?
Yeah.
But now I think that's changing so much now. Like there's so many beautiful, strong women that are smoking hot that are 50 and older. I'm like, as long as Selma Hayek's looking like that, I'm good. I'm not going to complain.
They're owning it.
They're owning it. She's right.
Yeah, I think women have changed their attitude about getting older over the last decade, especially.
Yeah.
So now I don't care.
Man, Rachael Ray, listen, always a treat to have you on the show.
Oh, I love coming here. It really makes me so happy. I get so excited just standing in the hallway.
Come on. I love having you. Is Sean Lee going to be working with you this year, too?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Y'all know Sean Lee.
Yeah, we just sold a bunch more shows together.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah, Sean at Switchblade.
Yeah,
we're all partners.
We're
all partners.
I got to shout my friend out. Rachel, congratulations.
Yeah,
Continued
that's
success.
Thank
Have
you.
the
Can I see
B.
you at the show?
Have the B is going to be on the show. Can we lock in a day now? Okay, good. All
By
right.
the end of day.
All right.
EOD.
Okay, that's what's up,
Day
man.
drinking with Rachel,
And
baby.
Make sure you get the book, Rachael Ray, 50 Memories and Meals from a Sweet and Savory Life, and the Rachael Ray Show. Check your local listings. Up next, we got our Black History Spotlight, dedicating this to Rachael Ray, the cringe.